And I'll say something, you know, this axe, this Leviathan axe.
There it is.
That's rad.
So cool.
Just throwing it back and forth.
And it just recalling it, you can look at that, tripping enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to PlayStation Underground. We got something real special lined up for you today. Myself, Sid Schumann, Justin Massengill, and Kristen Titus are going to walk you through some new footage from God of War, launching on PS4 April 20th. Boy. And my goodness gracious, does this game look sensational. What do you guys think?
Wow, that looks very good.
Now, Justin, you have not played it. Kristen,
I'm coming totally fresh here.
That's right. Kristen, you and I got a chance to play this.
Yes, we did.
And I think it's safe to say that we liked what we played.
So first things first, I'm noticing R1, R2 for your attacks. That's a big change.
Yes, indeed. No more face buttons. I believe that is still an option that you can select as an optional thing, but you're going to see why when you start playing the game. It's a lot more tactile. It's a lot more immersive. And here we have a parry. You still got that classic action from God of War. And I'll say something, you know, this axe, this Leviathan axe.
There it is.
That's rad.
So cool.
Just throwing it back and forth.
And it just recalling it, you can look at that, tripping enemies.
Oh, yeah. So tell me how the actual mechanics of using that axe works. You throw it like a boomerang?
You throw it and you sort of aim at something, you toss it, and if it hits an enemy, it'll freeze them in place.
Okay.
You can use it in puzzles. You can then hit a button. I think it's square. You recall it back in your hand too. Right there, you can see he's frozen.
Stuck in that guy's face. Okay.
Now, right now, Kratos, the fisticuffs is very, very fun in this game. As much fun, I think, as the axe. What do you think, Kristen?
I loved whenever I would throw the axe and then just start beating up on somebody else. Occasionally, you'll have an enemy where you actually have to use that tactic. It definitely wants you to use everything in your arsenal.
And so you have like completely different movesets depending on whether the axe is in his hands or stuck in an enemy's chest.
Right, you got a shield, like a full-blown shield, a little dab of Dark Souls there. You kind of walk around. Shield comes in handy for this hand-to-hand combat too.
The best defense is good offense, right?
So these are the lighter slashes with the axe. I think it's R1.
Okay.
And it's a little bit reminiscent of the classic games, just with more impact. You can see juggling the enemy, hammering him into the ground.
That looks really chunky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very beefy. That was I was talking to Corey Barlog. He's the creative director at Santa Monica. And they wanted this weapon, this Leviathan axe, to have a weight to it. And I say mission accomplished.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I see like a chain over there to the left that you were walking.
That's cool. Still got those brutal...
yeah, they are not toning down the brutality of this game.
That's right. Yeah. So here's that chain. Your eagle eye caught there. Now here's a cool example of a puzzle. I remember this one instantly. This axe.
Froze it in place.
Oh, cool.
Clever.
Yeah, it's little things like that. I really like how they come up to puzzle solving in this. I always liked the puzzles in the last games, but it got to be a little bit much with the block pushing and everything. They really opened that up in this game.
Big change. You didn't have to mash that button to open the chest.
That's correct. Hack silver is one of the sort of resources you'll collect.
Is that like a currency, a crafting material? What's that all
A little bit of all the above.
A little bit of both,
okay.
yeah. Just recall that back.
Yeah.
So cool.
So nothing is more satisfying, though, when you do it.
You got the big guy here.
Big boy.
Yeah. So, interesting detail here. You can either sort of let Atreus kind of just circle the perimeter, and he'll kind of do his own thing.
Yeah.
Call out enemy positions, things like that. Or you can actually manually direct him with the sun button, which I think is square. You can aim and have him fire directly at whatever you want.
I like how the axe just kind of bounced off of him there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
These trolls are not easy, I can tell you that right now.
But Atreus definitely becomes very helpful. He can distract your enemy for you. He can sort of draw attention so you can just dive right in there.
Yeah.
You have to give them some time to build back those arrows, so they won't always be there. You got to use them.
You can't just say fire, fire, fire.
Exactly.
Oh, and I see in the bottom right, is that an indication of how many arrows he has available?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
This guy takes some punishment.
Yeah.
The detail on these characters is staggering. Oh, and real quick, if you look at Kratos here, look at his kind of his butt, his thighs. You can see his remnants of his old armor poking out. You see those red straps?
Oh.
See what I mean? Like, there's a ton of details. Look at the wrappings on his arms.
Yeah.
From the chains.
Where the chains were,
Yeah. It's super, super cool character design in this. Obviously,